afternoon, everyone. My name is Jayan Benjamin, and welcome to our webinar series, Unconventional Success. Thanks for joining us on this three-part series where we will provide an inside perspective into the careers of three successful people who have taken a rather unconventional route to achieve the success they have today. For more information regarding upcoming events and webinars, join our subscription list or go to our website, shapeyourfuture.us. So without further ado, today we will be getting an inside look into the life of vegan food blogger Sean Robertson. Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? How are you, Jayan?
Oh, I'm good. Tired, but good.
Good. Listen, you know what? It's a Monday morning. Hopefully midweek comes close and then it's weekend again. So
yes, I'm ready for the weekend. Okay, so I think we'll get started with our first question, which is, what did you do once you left high school?
Okay, so I went straight into university. I didn't really have any kind of plan in terms of, am I going to be taking a break? Am I going to be working? I kind of had a plan in my mind. As soon as I graduated or matriculated from school, I went straight into doing or studying what I've been wanting to study for the career that I wanted at the time, which was fashion. So I got into CPUT and studied towards getting my degree, which I graduated with in 2017.
Oh, so how did you go from being a fashion designer to becoming a vegan food blogger? They're completely different things.
Yeah, there are definitely two completely different things. So when I was in university, I studied with a variety of different people coming from different backgrounds and different areas and things like that. So that opened my mind and opened me up to a different way of living, not just the people living within Cape Town, but people living outside of the borders of South Africa. And one of the people that I became good friends with in university, she was vegan, and she kind of started, or I would say planted the seed for me when it came to learning about veganism, learning what it was. And at the time, I was very much a person that said, you know what, if it's not for me, it's not for me. And if it's for you, it's for you. I respect your decision, but it's something that I can't do. And then I would say maybe a year later in 2017, in September of 2017, I watched a documentary which really kind of opened my eyes to what has been going on in terms of the food that we have been nourishing our bodies with, which is not really, nourishment at all. And that opened my eyes to, living a different way, which is vegan/plant-based. And then that kind of started a snowball effect of me wanting to learn more information about veganism. And I went into veganism, I would say, the week after I watched this documentary. And then thereafter, it kind of changed my mindset around why I wanted to study, why I want to go into this career path in terms of being in fashion. And it slowly but surely deterred me away from pursuing fashion as a career, because not just did I learn that, the fashion industry is unsustainable. It's the production of, fashion brands and fashion labels just contribute so much towards environmental, social, and and social injustice and degradation. And that's why I decided to kind of not pursue it. But aside from that, I kind of realized that the local industry, the local fashion industry, is an industry where you put in a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And big ups to all of the, local fashion designers that are really doing the things, and putting and like seeing, the fruits of their labor, kind of, and enjoying the fruits of their labor. For how far they got their brand, but unfortunately I couldn't see myself putting in so much work and so much effort without, getting a lot of, or not getting a lot of, but just getting some sort of success, because I know how difficult it is in the local industry. So yeah, I then decided to go teach fashion, to go teach English in South Korea the year after I graduated. And that only lasted for 9 months because I realized that that's not really what I wanted to do. And then during that 9 months, I went through a lot of, I went through depression, and I was physically kind of injured twice, and that kind of put a lot of things into perspective for me in terms of what I wanted for my life going forward after this whole teaching thing. And in the last few months of me teaching, basically in the last, I would say 2 months of me staying in South Korea and working there, I thought I got like a camera and started kind of vlogging and taking pictures of the food that I was making, because I was so involved in vegan activism and in showing people what has been happening in the industries that we are getting our food from, and just kind of helping to enlighten people about where they get their food from. That we don't really need to filter our nutrients through the bodies of dead animals, and that there is, another way to live your life without having to harm another living sentient being. And yeah, I started documenting and kind of photographing all of the food that I eat and the activism that I did, and posted it on my social media. And then as soon as I came back home in 2019, I started getting back into activism, but then also started my Instagram and just did it for fun. And then slowly but surely, my following started going up, and I got more interaction on my social media, and people started gravitating towards the content that I was posting. And then I started to take it a bit more seriously. And then I also got involved in a local vegan market that has been founded by a very good friend of mine. Her name is Sarah Lee Beckett. And then she wanted me to kind of take over the reins of organizing the market. And that started in 2018, July. And then ever since then, I've been part of the market now, officially also a co-director and organizer of the vegan goods market that happens here locally. And it's also, I'm very happy to say, one of the top 10 markets here in Cape Town. So
sounds like you really had like a comeback from a time when you weren't really feeling so happy with the choices in your life, and now you look really happy. I interviewed somebody yesterday, and you can really tell by like the look on your face that you are so happy with the life that you're living right now.
thank you. Yes, no, I definitely was going through a lot of kind of mental anxiety about where my life was going as soon as I came back from South Korea, because I resigned from that job. I wasn't very happy with it, and I kind of originally had the plan that before I left for South Korea, I was going to be teaching, I guess, for the next 10 years in different countries. That was kind of my plan. But then as soon as I landed in South Korea, that completely changed. Or as soon as I started, getting through my teaching post in South Korea, gears started changing in my mind around what I wanted to do. And then I went on YouTube thinking, okay, how can I earn money abroad? How can I travel and earn money? Every moment that I got after, working, because I would get home after teaching around like 6:30, 7 o'clock, I would like go on YouTube. Okay, what can I do? Okay, how can I create content? How can I become a vlogger? Or how can I, what can I do online that won't bound me by location, and I can literally go everywhere and travel everywhere without having to be somewhere specifically to work. But then I kind of thought to myself, let me rather just go back home, have some time to breathe, also take a break, because I didn't really take a break. I just kept on working after university. So that time off after I got back home gave me a break to think about what I wanted for myself, and also gave me a chance to connect with like-minded people in the industry that I'm currently working in, and not in a sense of like connecting because of work or connecting because I wanted to gain some more, but just connecting to open my circles within the circle that I am very much involved in.
Now I definitely understand. So
Yeah.
what is it exactly that you do? Like what does a typical working day consist of for a blogger?
Okay. So a typical working day starts off. Okay, I'm gonna tell you everything. Personal and work. I try to start my day off by with a me time moment. So I would either wake up at 5:30 or 6:30. If I try my best to like wake up at 5:30 during the summer times, because that gives me an hour and a half. I've got like this schedule thing in my mind that I try to like commit to all the time. It never works out, but like it's so
It's
I would
there.
say it's there. So 5:30 or 5 o'clock, I try to get up. I do a 5 minute meditation. That's what I'm trying to do. 5 minutes of meditation. I get into some work that I will work up until 6:30 with. From between 6:30 and 6:45, I get ready to go for a run in my area. 6:45, I go and take the dogs for a walk. With my nephew, and then I come back around 8:30. Then I do a little workout before I hop into the shower. I start my work and have some breakfast at 9:30. Check my emails, or before I even check my emails, I write down a list of all of the things that I need to do for the day. I divide my diary page for that particular day in two. One is VGM, which is the Vegan Goods Market, and the other one is STV, which is Sean the Vegan, my blog. I write down what I want to achieve, or any duties and things that I need to, any activities that I kind of need to do for that specific day on both for VGM and STV. And then it starts out by checking the emails, checking vendor applications for the market now, checking vendor applications, sending out approvals for the applications, sending out any more information that I need to get from the vendors for their particular application, doing social media for the market, trying to create graphics for the market, for the next market, to show people when there's going to be a next market. And then as soon as I kind of get to the point where most of that work is done, I then go over to Sean the Vegan, either by doing stories of what I'm eating throughout the day, also photographing content of everyday meals. How can I kind of dissect those meals to show people that vegan food is easy to prepare, easy to find, and not that expensive to buy, when it's actually really affordable, and just kind of destigmatizing, the concepts that people have in their mind, the preconceived kind of notions that people have in their mind around what veganism is all about. And then I post that content on my social media, photograph any collaborations that I have with brands, reach out to brands who potentially want to work with me to kind of further promote their products. And yeah, just kind of engaging on social media. Most of my day kind of is on social media, but it's nice because I can kind of go in between the social media and working from my laptop. So it's like a quick transition. It does take up a lot of time, but it's a schedule and something that I need to kind of get a bit more experience around, finding ways to shorten the time that I have on those platforms so that I can make my other work. I have more time to kind of focus on my other core activities, which is specifically the market.
Well, it sounds like you have a really busy day. I actually wasn't expecting that, but it sounds like, because when you said you wake up at 5:30, I was like, wow.
Like during these winter months, it's really difficult because it's warm to
So
get out of the
cold.
bed. It's so cold, and I end up like, waking either maybe 6:30 or 7. If I don't do my meditation, or if I don't run in the morning, I will try and start my day off with a walk, which will probably now, because it's getting much darker, it's
Earlier,
like
yeah.
yeah, it's getting much darker earlier, and even like when it comes to 7 o'clock, it's still kind of dark outside. So I'll kind of like take my schedule further, where I will, instead of walking the dogs at 6:55, and I walk them at 7:10,
Yeah.
for example. I try my best to, any me time that I do have scheduled before I start working will be done before 9:30.
Because that's the
But
working day.
yeah, but besides that, I do try to, because I have the privilege of, and I'm very grateful for that privilege of deciding when my own work times are, and when I need to when I don't need to work as much during a particular week. I will kind of take it a bit slower just so that I can rest. The work that I do when it comes to the market does, especially when it comes to working on the market day specifically, is very labor intensive and is quite draining. I get up at like 6:30, or have to leave the house by 6:30 or before 7 to get to the market, and start setting up. And that usually goes up until 5 o'clock on the day. So I'm out on my feet for more than 12 hours, I would say. And that is quite exhausting. So like the day after that, I kind of either just do admin in bed, or I just try and take the week as slow as I can, just to kind of re-energize my body again, because there's a lot of energy that I have to give off, physically and mentally, and not just having to make sure that everything is like sorted when it comes to the vendors and the people working with me, to make the market a success. But it's also networking with people who are coming to the market, engaging with the attendees, thanking them for coming, networking with anybody who potentially wants to be part of the market. So yeah, it is quite exhausting, but it's also fulfilling, because you see the fruits of your labor, kind of like coming like happening in front of your eyes as people are entering the space and coming to the market, or like engaging with you on social media and seeing brands kind of reach out to you to work with you. So like all of the hard work that I'm putting into this career, into like, this path that I've chosen for myself, um, I see the outcomes happening, and I'm very grateful for it. And that is only a testament to the work that I've been able to put in as well.
So, what would you say are some of the challenges that you faced during this career and starting up this blogging business?
So I would say the challenges definitely was knowing whether or not I am good enough for being my own boss. For there's a lot of other markets that happen in Cape Town. There are a lot of other bloggers that are here locally, and me kind of having to think about, wait, there's all of these other people that are doing 10 times better than me. What makes me good enough? What makes me that good that people are now going to want to either support my platform, or what brands are going to, look at me as being, oh, he's good enough to work with. Like, what makes me that special? So I would say trying to be more self-confident in what I have to offer. Because bear in mind, I didn't study for what I'm currently doing at all. I studied fashion. So like I've only been doing this through experience and through networking and gaining, I would say, learning skills online, searching on YouTube, for example, when it comes to my blogging, what camera should I use, what tips and tricks can I even like did a short course on photography while I was teaching in South Korea. So I guess putting in the work, but also knowing that you are good enough for whatever you put your mind to. And I still suffer from imposter syndrome. There are times, like I would say, the night before a market, for example, I think about all of the duties that need to be fulfilled for that particular day when it comes to setting up, sorting out the vendors, making sure that things run smoothly. Like I always think like, how the hell did I get into this position? How do I do this? What am I going to do if I don't know what to do? It's that like anxiety that starts coming through, but then as soon as the day starts, for example, when it comes to a market, I have a good support structure that I work with. I have a good vendor family that I work with as well. Um, and by us all working together to push the brand forward, it works out at the end of the day. And all of that stress and all of that anxiety that I put myself under the night before, even the week leading up to, all kind of, goes away because of the success of the day. Um, so that's one of the challenges, like knowing that you are good enough. Another challenge is wearing many hats. Can be a challenge because not only do I have to do the social media, I have to do the admin, answering emails, doing the social media, which that in itself is a very big task. And not only am I, doing the social media for the market, I'm also doing the social media for Sean the Vegan. So trying to balance out the two and making sure that I am consistent in posting and, engaging with the followers, because the followers that are following my personal page, I mean, my Sean the Vegan page and the Vegan Goods Market page, they're putting effort into, commenting, following us, liking, our content that we post. So all of that engagement is engagement that I value, and I want to make sure that they know that we as the market and me as Sean the Vegan values that engagement. So trying to make sure that the engagement is as genuine as possible, and that takes time because you have to, comment and respond to each and every to each and every comment, to each and every follow, which I personally want to do, so that those people know that they are valued and that they are, invited to come and either enjoy the Vegan Goods Market page or engage with my Sean the Vegan social media. So wearing all of these hats and kind of making and setting aside time for all of these tasks, like doing the finances, doing the social media, doing the admin, it's difficult because they all kind of need your attention at the same time, and I'm only one person and I have only two hands. So it is a bit difficult, but I do have help from other people who either assist me when it comes to finances, who I get kind of guidance from when it comes to social media. So yeah, that's I think one of the challenges. Another challenge, I guess, would be the fact that the finances, specifically for the market, for example, because it's a community-based market, we can't have expenses, or any expenses that we do have, we have to try and keep to a minimum, because we are not like a profit-seeking business. We are a business that wants to bring the community together through a sustainable, through showing what can be done in your own life with it, is thinking more sustainably, introducing more vegan options into your life, and just kind of planting the seed of an alternative way of life that isn't expensive, or that isn't expensive, that isn't inaccessible, showing that it's homegrown, you can do it. Yeah, that's what we want to achieve. That's the essence of the market. And because of us not seeking to make a profit, our finances can only afford so much when it comes to expenses, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's some of the challenges that I've experienced.
Well, it sounds like you are really making good efforts to overcome those challenges, even though they're a lot difficult. But I mean, I'm sure with time you'll get used to the process, wearing the different hats. Maybe getting some more help once the market grows bigger.
Definitely.
Okay, so what is some advice that you would give to students out there who are unsure of what they want to do with their lives in the future?
I would definitely say, I mean, when it comes to COVID, for example, you guys as students really have gotten through a lot of obstacles already. to get to the point to where you guys are now, in whatever grade you are, whether or not you've entered university. So I think that has kind of taught you guys a lot, in terms of overcoming, certain challenges that you have to face. And I think that when you think about your career, it's I, I don't know. When it comes to advice, I don't know how to give advice because I'm still on my own journey. But I guess I can only share what has been working for me. Don't be scared to change your career option, whether or not you are in high school or you are in university, because you never know what you can achieve if you make the if there's enough motivation for you to make that change. Don't say, oh no, I've been in this either working in this industry for too long to change, or I've studied this for too long to change. You can change at any point that you want, um, if you feel that you want to change. And also, you guys are young enough to take a break and do other things, that will help you and guide you and help narrow your path towards what you eventually want to do with your life. And that can be many things. It doesn't specifically have to be one thing. I mean, I don't have to do this market, or I don't have to do my social media for the rest of my life. If I choose later on, either next year or 5 years from now, even 10 years from now, that I want to be something completely different and I want to be somebody different, I can be that, and I can do that. I just need to have enough drive, enough passion, and put enough hard work into that specific route or that specific path to make an achievement of it. So yeah, never be scared to do something different if it hasn't been on your path. Um, so that's the advice, I guess, that I would give.
Well, thank you for that advice. I know a lot of people feel like it's too late to change, because I mean, you do want to become independent financially and just moving out of your parents' house, they just want to get you out as soon as possible. So everything does feel a lot more rushed, but we are still young, so there's definitely time, a lot of time.
A lot of time, but also don't let the fact that there is a lot of time kind of deter you from going out and earning some coin. The reality of life is that you need to earn money to gain some sort of independence, to gain freedom, and to kind of help you venture out and see other things. For example, when I was in university, I started waitering and bartending and working for my sister, and that I did for a solid four years. And even the beginning of the year after I graduated out of university, I still worked during those months before I moved to South Korea, because I wanted to make sure that I was financially independent, and that I could have the financial freedom to do what I want to do, even though I wasn't necessarily doing the 9 to 5. I could still have enough of that financial independence and freedom to do what I wanted to do, and still give me enough time to think about the different options I had outside of school, outside of university. So, make sure that you're not, if you are of age to work, go and work. Go earn that coin, do what you can to gain that financial freedom, because that financial freedom allows you to win off of your parents and allows them to see you in a different light as an adult, as a person who can afford to make those changes. Because I mean, for example, if you're gonna go to your mom or your dad and say, "Sorry, mom and dad, I think I'm going to think of changing my course," and them having to think about all of the money that they've already given for you studying. Imagine you coming to them, "Don't worry, I've been working, or I am working to afford for me to change." And of course, everybody's situations is different, but just imagine that, you as an adult now in university or even in high school, coming to your parents saying, "So this is what I'm going to do. This is this is the things that I'm going to be implementing into making this change. you don't have to worry about it. I've got it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
a lot of parents, if they can see that you are serious and you are actively making these decisions for the benefit of yourself, then most of the time they're like, okay, that's good. As long as they don't have to pay, they're like, okay, that's good.
No.
Um,
Yeah, that's my advice.
yeah, well, thank you for that advice. And I don't know if you want to take a few minutes just to give some information about Sean the Vegan and the vegan food market.
Sure, no problem. So for the Vegan Goods Market, you can pop us a follow on Instagram and on Facebook. Just search at Vegan Goods Market. We have a market coming up on the 30th of May at the Range to Dukai, so feel free to pop by. And then you can also follow me on my social media at Sean_the_vegan, or you can just type in Sean the Vegan in your search bar on Instagram, and you can find it. You can find it on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Facebook as well. So yeah, you can pop me a follow on those platforms.
Well, thank you for speaking with us and taking time out of your very busy day today, Sean. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Jayan, and thank you so much to you and your listeners for making the time out to listen to my story. And I hope you find some sort of inspiration from it. And wishing you and all of your listeners and all of the people watching this all of the best for whatever ventures you guys have. And don't be afraid to venture into things that you aren't that you are scared of doing. Just take that leap of faith, and who knows where you'll land.
Thank you, Sean. Bye.
Bye.